Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I've made a Shaquille O'Neal build for you, so make sure he's a centre and we'll move on to the body settings. So he's listed at 7'1", but I just felt for the build and the attributes that 7 foot was the best height, so make sure he's 7 foot. In terms of weight, I do recommend going to 241 pounds. It's not the minimum, so you do lose a bit of speed, but you do need some size at centre. And I felt that 241 was the best weight for this build. In terms of wingspan, I do recommend putting it to 7'10", so you will have a massive wingspan. You know, that's the max you can go to. And 7'10", that's some long arms. So I do recommend putting up to there. In terms of body shape, I just put built. Now he's probably maybe more solid. I just thought built just made him look the biggest, so it's up to you. Move on to the attributes. Now for close shot, I do recommend just maxing this out to 99. Just get all those badges, Hall of Fame. And driving layup, putting that up to 60. At 60, you do unlock an extra badge point, and you do get unstrippable, which is really handy to have, particularly if you're going up for shots. Near the rim, you know, post moves and stuff like that, it does help. You know, if you're going up for a layup from a post move or a dunk, it's really frustrating if you get stripped. So to have that silver or at least bronze is really handy. In terms of driving dunk, I want to max it out to 75. So that's important because it does unlock the big man contact alley-oops. So you do need a 75 driving dunk for the big man contact alley-oops. And it also unlocks limitless takeoff and posterizer, as well as lob city finisher. So 75 is definitely worth maxing out driving dunk at 75. In terms of standing dunk, we just want to max that out as well to get all the badges Hall of Fame. So we got Hall of Fame posterizer, you know, Hall of Fame fast switch, mouse in the house, rise up, you know, all the great standing dunk badges. In terms of post control, we just want to put that 2 below the max. If you go any lower, you will lose a badge point. But going 2 below the max, you don't lose any badge. No badges drop. So 97 is the sweet spot, and just save some extra attribute points. Now in terms of shooting, we're not going to touch shooting, but what we will do is we will put free throw to 52. So we all know he struggles at the free throw line. I think he's career 50% free throw shooter. So I mean, if you wanted to bump that up to like an 80 or something good, just take some points off speed or something like that, and bump that free throw up. But I just thought for the most realistic Shaq build, just putting it to something around 50 would be most appropriate. In terms of playmaking, particularly in his younger days, he was really athletic. You know, he could take the ball from a defensive rebound and take it all the way up the floor, a bit like Giannis does. So I definitely wanted his playmaking to be high, and I had the attribute points for it. So put pass accuracy to 90. So you do get a gold dimer and gold bullet passer needle threader with this badge, with this build, and you do get break starter Hall of Fame. So you know you could easily get triple doubles with this build, just with really great outlet passes. You know, if you're in the post and you kick it out, you know, you could easily get 10 assists with this build. In terms of ball handle, he can handle the rock a bit. If you've ever seen him cross up Michael Jordan in the All-Star game, he can handle the rock. So it was in a shoot around, it wasn't in the actual game, but he can definitely dribble. So 58 dribbles the max. And it just unlocks some really handy things. So you get unpluckable bronze and glue hands bronze. So they're just two handy badges for this build, like really handy badges, you know, particularly unpluckable. You know, when you're trying to dribble in the post, it can be really frustrating when a guard comes over and strips you before you've made your move. Having this bronze can just help eliminate a few of those, or a lot of those animations and turnovers. In terms of speed with ball, I recommend putting that to 43, just to get downhill bronze. I just had the points and I thought, why not? You know, you might be fighting for an offensive rebound, and the defense gets it and they try and throw it up the court, and you're trying to run back and they miss a shot, and all of a sudden you're the closest man to your goal, and the other big man will throw it to you. You've got to be able to get to the ring to dunk it. So having downhill bronze is just handy with a bit of extra speed. I just thought it'd be cool to have it on bronze as well with this build. In terms of defense, now Shaq is definitely probably a better defender than what the attributes I'll give this build, but I wanted finishing to be the main thing with this build. And defense does lack, it's not as maxed out as finishing, but it's still very high. So I'll put interior defense to 90. This unlocks defensive leader Hall of Fame, and you get the 7 badges. No perimeter defense, he's not really guarding anyone out in the perimeter. That's not what this build's designed for. In terms of steal, he doesn't average a heap of steals. I think it's only 1 a game. It might even be half, 0.5 a game. It's not very high. I was a bit shocked when I saw that, but from memory, it might only be 0.5. So I put steal to 70. That just unlocked the 9 badges and does unlock interceptor silver at 60. So I just thought, at center, sometimes point guards will try and pass at the backdoor cuts. And if you time it well, you can get in the way and catch a steal. So 70 is really handy to have. In terms of block, at his peak, with the Lakers and early days with Orlando, he was averaging about 2.5, 2.8 blocks a game. So he's definitely a rim protector. And I put block to 89. At 89, I just unlocked extra badge point. And you get intimidator gold and rim protector gold as well. So they're 2 great badges. In terms of offensive rebound, I recommend putting that to 86. And for defensive rebound, putting that to 99. So you will get Hall of Fame rebound chase with this. He does average, at his peak, he was about 11 or 12 a game. So yeah, he can definitely snag a lot of rebounds. And putting it 99 does unlock 34 defensive badges, sorry. So you've got a lot of defensive badges to play with, and a lot of things are Hall of Fame that you can unlock. So I definitely think that's a great defensive layout. In terms of speed, we want to put that to 59 and acceleration to 59 as well. So you are 7 foot, you shouldn't expect to be really quick. Shaq wasn't, although in his early days he was really fast, but when he started to put the size on, when he's with the Lakers and then from then on, with Miami and Phoenix and stuff, he wasn't really huge. He put the size on because he wanted to, because people were just fouling him, and he needed a way to just push through the fouls and just finish anyway. Putting the size on helped with that. I'm sure there were other factors as well, but that's something that he's put on record as to why he got so big, or tried to bulk up. In terms of strength, we do want to put that to 80. So it's not huge, it's not really high, but I can only go to 83 anyway with this build. So 80 I thought was just pretty good. I am seeing a lot of centers now that don't have a lot of strength anyway. They're trying to maximize speed. They're trying to go real lean, be real agile. But for this build, it's going to be really dominant in strength battles, particularly against those other builds, but against normal builds as well. You'll find that you'll body most players. In terms of vertical, I decided to put it to 75. So that just unlocks, pretty much all the big man contact dunks. You'll get elite contact, big man contact dunks with this, as well as the alley-oop, normal dunks and alley-oop contact dunks. So 75 is what I recommend. And that's 7 foot with 75 vert, and a 7'10" wingspan. Good luck to anyone trying to stop you in the air. And then for the rest of the attributes, just plonk them all on stamina for 90 stamina. And that's the build. So in total, we have 32 finishing, no shooting badges, 17 playmaking, and 34 defensive badges, for a total of 83 badges. for this pure paint beast build. So, you know, they're not a huge amount. I'm used to making builds with over 90 badges, but I thought I'd make a real specialized build. This build is absolutely specialized in finishing around the rim and protecting the rim, as well as being able to play make for teammates. So this is a real triple double threat build. Even though it's only got 83 badges, you will be able to farm assists with this build, get rebounds, and dominate the paint, particularly offensively with this build. So don't let the badge count for you. This is an amazing build with lots of Hall of Fame badges. So we'll move on to the takeovers. For Shaq, I just thought power backdowns. You know, he's the most unstoppable player for a reason, him and Wilt Chamberlain. You know, people who were like 7 foot were getting ragdolled by this bloke. So power backdowns definitely, and paint intimidation as well. You know, he often said, you know, any little man that would come into the rim, he'd just try and put him on the floor. So paint intimidation is definitely one that you want. So as we can see, you've made a paint beast with shades of Shaquille O'Neal, Andre Drummond, and Rudy Gobert. I mean, those two other guys should be lucky to be talked in the same breath as Shaquille O'Neal. So it's definitely a Shaq build. Move on to the badges. So for finishing, you definitely just want back down Punisher, just all the post stuff. Post spin. Rise up to help with dunks, posterizer, lob city could be handy. Dream shake, drop stepper, hook specialist. You know, other things like mouse in the house would be great. Limitless takeoffs could be pretty cool. Fast twitch to help with dunks. And then other stuff, you know, you might want grace under pressure. If you're good at pump faking your opponent, this can be a really handy badge. Some other stuff you might want to consider is unstrippable and where is it? Oh no, just unstrippable. Yep. Oh, putback boss. That's the other one, because you do have a pretty high offensive rebound and a 7'10" wingspan, so you may get a lot of offensive rebounds. So these two might be some badges that you'd want as well. In terms of shooting, we don't have any shooting badges, but when you start your career, it may just be, if you do find that you've got all the other badges you want and you've got an extra badge upgrade when you start your career with the +4, you may want to put one in shooting just to get slippery off ball. This can be a really handy badge, even at bronze, to have. So that could be something you want to think about. In terms of playmaking, definitely want break starter, you know, downhill, needle threader, tight handles, triple threat juke. You know, you might catch the ball and face up your opponent in the post. And if you've got like triple threat juke, you know, bronze, that could be really cool to use, just fun. So there's that there, you know, post playmaker, bullet passer, you know, you've got dimer, glue hands, and unpluckable. So they're all great badges to have. You know, post playmaker could be really handy this build, because people are going to end up having the W in the post, particularly if you get a hold of the other center. People are going to help, and if you're able to hit your open shooters, it's going to be really hard to stop whatever team you're on. So in terms of defense, we definitely want things like Intimidator, you know, post lockdown, tireless defender, worm, because you do have such a high offensive rebound, you know, rebound chaser, pickpocket's handy, you know, box out, defensive leader, you know, brick wall, interceptor, you know, rim protectors there, and pogo stick. Obviously play around with those, but those would be the badges I would go with. So all in all, that's the build. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a really great day.